Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Pearl and the Echo podcast. My name is Dori Sim, and I'm here with my co-host, Jim Rajan. And today we will start, as we always do, with 3 deep breaths. So if you are in an environment where you can safely close your eyes, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can still take the 3 breaths with your eyes open. So here we go. In through the nose and out through the mouth if you like. In through the nose again, feel the air build in your belly and through your rib cage. And out through the mouth. And one last time, make this the biggest breath you've taken so far today. And let it all go. All right. I'm interested and looking forward to hearing our quote of the day, of the week. Take it away,
Okay.
Jim.
So, funnily, we were just talking, and I don't actually know the person that this quote is from, because I really like Julia Cameron of Artist Way. I really like her books, and she has a book called The Prosperous Heart, which is really, really nice. And in her book, there are kind of quotes down the side of the page, and this is one of them, and it's from Eric Butterworth. So feel free to go to the internet and find out who that is. He's actually a very interesting individual. The quote is this. This is really resonating with me at the moment. It goes like this. You are always responsible for the way you accept things that happen to you. All that really counts is what is happening within you. So let me go through that again. You are always responsible for the way you accept things that happen to you. All that really counts is what is happening within you. So it's your responsibility. It's all down to you how you deal with the stuff that happens in life. And I really genuinely think that that's quite a rare thing. I think what most of us do is something happens and when we just panic or we just react to it. Either we're not aware that we have other options or we are aware that we have other options in our ways of responding, but we fall into the usual patterns. If you have a propensity to road rage and you're driving a car, I always use this because I'm the king of road rage. And if someone cuts me up, it's instantaneous. I get annoyed and I get offended. And how dare you? Do you know who I am? I'm interesting and important and I'm driving my car and all these silly things come. But actually, I've started to notice that there's a little gap. I get a little window of when the thing happens and then whether I go down one of my 5 standard responses. And it's really interesting because if you sit in that space, sometimes you're sitting in that space and you don't feel able to break the chain and go, no, hold on a minute. Let's just relax or take a deep breath or take 3 deep breaths. That's fine. I don't need to respond to that. You can see that is one of the options, but you very rarely take it. And I think for me, it's because we're all so kind of conditioned. We're all so set in certain ways of being that it's really hard for us to have someone stamp on our status and us not do anything about it and us just go, that's fine, doesn't matter. I'm all right. No, that's cool. Yeah, you do whatever you want. It's good. Because even in that, there can be a kind of sarcastic, yeah, I don't care because you're an idiot. No, it's like to actually go, no, that's fine. I don't need to respond to that. And I've had one of those with me where I'm in that place and I can feel the automatic response wanting to come out and just shout. And I don't know what to do with it. So then I get annoyed 5 minutes later with something else because I couldn't hold it in.
Right. You take it out on someone else.
It's good. Yeah, it has to come out somewhere. But yeah, you are always responsible for the way you accept things that happen to you. How does that land with you, Dori?
Yes, I take the responsibility. It really pushes us to say, okay, it's my responsibility how I react. It may not be the situation or whatever life throws at us is random, it's unpredictable, and we have little control over a lot of things that happen to us. And so the locus of control is us and our reaction. I feel you on the bad driver front. Yeah, there's a lot of impatience in driving around, especially in the city I'm in, and you can really get angry about it. I don't really get road rage or anything like that, but I do feel like when close calls happen or things like that, my nervous system gets activated. And then I'm trying to just actively let go of that situation. So if we're accepting our experience, sometimes it can take time. I can't say that I'm accepting experience at the drop of a dime. It's really challenging. I have a physical letting go action that I like to do when certain things happen, which is a hand like flicking my fingers and just kind of letting it go that way, or maybe like just going for a walk, doing some arm shaking, doing some movement. That can help, but you can't always do that. If you're in a meeting, if you're in a professional setting and something occurs where it's really hitting you, it becomes this wave of emotions and experiences, like an ocean inside of you that's just ready to spill over. And that's the challenge. That's when the breathing comes in, and yeah, taking responsibility for that experience. I used to really fight with that. I used to be super uncomfortable with all of these emotions coming up, and it would feel so uncomfortable. I would just want to run away from all of that. And now I see it, and I really try to take on an observer mindset. See it, feel it, validate where it's coming from, swim with it. There's this beautiful image from years ago when I was studying somatic meditation of, okay, you're on the shoreline and then you're experiencing just a storm of emotions. So now you're in the water, you're in the ocean, and you're fighting in them. And okay, well, what if instead of fighting with all of it, you started to dance with all of it? You started to just, swim around and embrace some of it. And that is how you get to the other side. So the shore on the other side of the lake or the ocean is to go through to really dance with all the emotions and take responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility, how you're responding. I think one of the big problems is social etiquette, is that if I'm standing in, I don't know, like let's say a conference or some setting where there's lots of people talking and somebody says something to me that kind of hurts or is painful or is kind of rude to me, social etiquette forces me to just be quiet and hold it all in. And you can't see what's going on inside of me. There could be like a raging hurricane going on inside of me. But I can still stand there and go, oh yeah, wonderful. That's really, yes, that's very interesting. Thank you. All that really counts is what's happening inside of you, within you, and being able to see that, because what's going on inside of you, yeah, maybe you can control some of it, maybe you can't. But I think a lot of it you can, like you say, you can be aware of it and you can notice what's happening and go, oh yeah, you got me again. Or fall right in and get lost in it, or just start to notice that actually none of this really matters, and that person's probably in the middle of a horrible divorce or something, or some awful thing is happening, but we go to the pain point, don't we? We go to the thing that, the trigger, and we go, I got triggered, and that's not the unfairness of the thing, and then it just drags us down this rabbit hole where we could just go, oh, okay.
Yes, we like to pick at the festering wound, right?
Yeah. Yeah, don't we? Why? Why is that?
Just
Yeah, it's amazing. Human beings are just hilarious. If you really think about it, we create our own problems so much, don't we?
Yeah. What are some ways in which you've been able to accept or take responsibility in some of those challenging moments? Do you have any tricks for?
Well, for me, I mean, I say that I get road rage. I mean, that's kind of that's my thing. I don't believe in forgiving. I believe in accepting. I think forgiving, it's too messy, forgiving. And often it's not really forgiving, and you kind of give yourself away in forgiving unnecessarily. So I go with accepting. And the big one for me is letting go. I spend all day, every day, all the time letting go. If I have like a client that's, comes with a heavy thing, or I've had lots of clients all day, or something goes on with my daughter. Life
Yeah.
just gives you all these things all the time. And I actually used to put these alarms on my telephone, and I still do it at least once an hour, that just alarm goes off saying, let go. And I go, oh yeah. And actually letting that thing go and letting it go. And because that way you notice more and more when you're angry and you didn't realize you're angry, or annoyed, or upset, or bitter, or like resentful,
Mm.
because most of the time we just walk around in this state of being annoyed and we don't even know. First of all, we don't really even know why. And second, we don't even know that's a thing. We're just there trying to get to work. So I probably, not even exaggerating, I probably do letting go like at least 20 times a day. And sometimes it only takes 10 seconds where you just,
Mhm.
yeah, that's not mine. That has nothing to do with me. You have to take that thing away from your mind and put it in your body like a feeling or a shape or an
Mhm.
essence or something. Because if you think that you can let go with your mind, you're lying to yourself, because you can't, because your mind is just one big hard drive.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to take it away and feel it like a shape. I had one the other day where I took it away from my mind and said, right, okay, I feel that in my body, and my shoulder started hurting straight away. And I was like, all right, well, there you go. So it's there. So I'm like holding this thing on my shoulders, and then spent a good bit of time releasing it,
Mhm.
and couldn't, and so gave up, and then went and kind of shouted in a room on my own, and then I could let go of it. But I think if simple things like that are really easy, and they help you maintain this calm sea within, where then you
Mm.
can respond in a way you want. But if you're not letting go, then you're just responding and responding, responding over and over again, to the point where you don't even know you're responding, and you don't know what your
Mhm.
response is, you know?
Yeah, I like the idea of keeping the channel clear. Our bodies are just really trying to stay in some kind of a neutral state where you can really see each moment for what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the word neutral. Yeah, neutral that's important, isn't it? Because you're not here and you're not there. And when you're in a neutral place, things happen, and you're not already in the middle of dealing with the last thing.
Mm.
You're back in the center again. Okay, I'm in the center. Okay, this thing's happened. All right. So
Mhm.
there's a bit of, if I'm in neutral, there's a bit of space for me from being in neutral, goes back to the car thing, and putting it in gear. If you're in a manual car.
Yeah.
So, but if you're not coming from that neutral space, you're just going from one gear to another, to reverse, to first, to second, to third, back,
Mhm.
and all over again. And you're just all over the place, and you can see it. I love. My passion is sitting watching people. And I love just sitting on a bench watching people, and you can see how uncomfortable they are, or how unsure of themselves they are, or how much they're in their head, or
Mm.
people who talk to themselves. I mean, I talk to myself all the time, and I think it's a really healthy thing.
Yes.
But you can also see these people who are talking to themselves, and they're berating themselves, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, you idiot! What the hell? I'm so stupid. Why the hell is that?"
Yeah.
You've got to get off that. So at what point are you going to get off that train and just
Yeah.
stand on the platform and go, "Whoa, all right, phew, let's just
Yeah.
stop for a minute and look at what's going on here." Because
Yeah.
most of the time you're reacting to something from a person who didn't even have a clue how their thing landed anyway.
For sure. There's a few visualization exercises that I like to do when it does feel like the thoughts or the emotions, usually the thoughts are too much. And there's two different ways you can do it. One is to think of your thoughts as clouds passing in the sky. So you're just kind of observing. And another favorite of mine is thinking of each thought as a leaf flowing down a stream. And that way it's just, okay, there it is. And it continues. Okay, there's another one. And it continues. There's research that has been done about how many thoughts we have each day, and it's an obscene amount. It's something like 80,000 thoughts, up to 80,000 thoughts per day. And so imagine if you carried all of that if you really if you really took all of that on.
They're responding to every single one of those.
Yeah.
Of course you're exhausted. Of course you've got chronic fatigue syndrome or whatever the thing is, because you're just on high alert all the time, all the time. And there's no space for you to respond in an intelligent or an intuitive, like there's no room for intuition.
Hmm.
I'll always remember I have this client in San Francisco who said, yeah, I don't have intuition. I've never heard it. It's like, wow, like, not
Yeah.
wow as in that's terrible, but wow as in, what is going on inside of you for there not to be any space at all for you to be able to just stop and listen and notice and hear what wants to come through you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The inner voice. Yeah. We have to
Yeah.
listen.
The inner voice is so simple and so obvious, but we're so busy thinking and planning and that was terrible and how awful this is that the train is late, and instead of the kind of like, well, actually it's all right, it's all fine.
Can you read it again, please?
Yes. So Eric Butterworth said or wrote, "You are always responsible for the way you accept things that happen to you. All that really counts is what is happening within you." Great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim. And to our listeners, please follow us on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or wherever else you might get your podcasts. Like and subscribe and share these episodes with a friend or someone in your life that you think may need just a little pocket of joy and reflection.
Thank you for listening to the Pearl and the Echo podcast with me, Dori Sim, and my co-host, Jim Rajan. Thank you to Rebel Mixtape Productions for editing this episode. If you like what you heard, like, subscribe, and share with those in your life that matter most.